Okay, bonjour tout le monde. So hi everyone. So today we're going to look at pronouns. Okay, so I'll explain to you in English as much as I can what is a pronoun, why do we use them, when do we use them, and then we'll learn it in French. So a pronoun replaces a noun in a sentence. You use them all the time and you do it every day. You're doing it fluently in your own language. We just don't think about it. So a pronoun replaces a noun. Now remember, what is a noun? A noun is the name of a person, place, animal, thing. Okay, it could be book, it could be iPad, it could be Canturk, it could be the name Neve. Okay, so a pronoun replaces the noun in a sentence. So for example, I hate books. If you don't want to keep saying in a conversation, I hate books, you don't want to be repetitive, okay, you say I hate them. So you just replace the word books with the pronoun them. All right, so we use it all the time. So I hate books. Je déteste les livres. So les livres, books. You want to say I hate them. Je les déteste. Now you're probably noticing one small difference between pronouns in English and pronouns in French. If you look at the bottom two sentences, in English our pronouns go after the verb, and in French the pronouns come before the verb. Okay? So we use pronouns to avoid repetition. So for example, if this is what you're saying in a conversation with someone, I love France. I go to France every year. France is my favourite destination. The people in France are very friendly. I love the food in France. We repeated the word France too much in that paragraph. It would get annoying if someone kept repeating the noun constantly. So here is how to replace France with pronouns. Let's rewrite that conversation. I love France. I go there every year. So there is a pronoun. It is my favourite destination. It is a pronoun. The people there are very friendly. I love the food there. So we actually use pronouns all the time in English. So let's start using them in French. And they look really good to use them as well if we can squeeze them into an opinion question or a diary entry. Okay? So there's actually a couple of different types of pronouns that we can use in French. So we're going to start off with the basics. So the very, very basic level pronouns are called personal subject pronouns. Okay, personal subject pronouns. It's a very fancy title, les pronoms personnels sujets, but let's break that down really easy. So let's figure it out in English first. What are personal subject pronouns? Let's have a look at this conversation. Paul loves France. Paul loves to go on holidays to Paris. Paul travels with his friends. Now again, we're sounding repetitive because we're continuously saying the name Paul. So we can replace the name Paul with a subject pronoun. Because think about it, in every sentence we use, is there a subject in the sentence? Am I saying Sheila is going to school? Mark is leaving home. Do we keep saying their name or do we replace them with he is leaving home? She is going to school. So Paul loves France. He loves to go on holidays to Paris. He travels with his friends. Okay, so we don't use the person's name continuously in a conversation. We replace the name of the person with he or she. It's like as well as if you're talking to a friend, you're not going to address your friend, and say if you're talking to your friend and your friend's name was Thomas, you're not going to say Thomas, drinks a cup of tea, Thomas goes to school, Thomas likes this. Does Thomas like this? You're going to say, do you like this? Do you drink a cup of tea? You'll replace it with a personal subject pronoun, you, he or she, etc. So, funnily enough, you actually learned these personal subject pronouns back in first year. It's just that we didn't really dwell in the name personal subject pronouns back in first year because it would have gone out over your head. But these are the personal subject pronouns. You learned them day one. Je, tu, il, elle, on, nous, vous, il, elle. Okay? So you always learned that you put je before the verb, tu, il, elle, nous, vous, il, elle, etc. Okay? So like you go into the oral exam and you say, je m'appelle Nive. You say, about your dad, il s'appelle. You could say, mon père s'appelle Sean. My dad's called, his name is Sean. Or he is called Sean. Okay? So you've no learning with these at the moment. You've learned these since first year. They're just replacing the name of the subject of the sentence. They replace the name of the person. Okay? So here's some examples of personal subject pronouns. Paul adore la France. So Paul loves France. Let's just replace the name Paul with the personal subject pronoun. He loves France. Il adore la France. Okay, the next one. Les ados prennent de la drogue. Teenagers take drugs. I want to replace teenagers with they. They take drugs. Ils prennent de la drogue. Sophie a 19 ans. Sophie is 19 years old. I want to say she is 19 years old. Elle a 19 ans. Okay? Sean et moi allons en vacances à Paris. Sean and I go on holidays to Paris. To replace Sean and I, we say we go. Nous allons en vacances à Paris. So I hope that's okay. So the personal subject pronouns, remember what you learned day one back in first year. Je, tu, il, elle, on, nous, vous, il, elle, plural. And they just replace the name, the subject of the sentence, the name of the person doing the action. Okay? So remember, a pronoun replaces a noun. A pronoun just replaces a noun. It avoids repetition. Okay, in the next video clip, I'll go on to the direct object pronouns. Hope that helped.